everyone, it's Xarin. Welcome back to Smitten Kittens, and sa video natin ngayon, we're going to be resin crafting. I'm going to be showing you the basics, and I'm using DC Trading Jewelry Resin for this video. Okay, so before we start, we are going to be putting on these silicone gloves. So these silicone gloves are available on Shopee. Of course, they're there to protect your hands from getting any resin on them. Please make sure to use protective gear when working with resin. So, some people have allergic reactions to resin, you can get skin allergies or baka ma-irritate yung eyes or nose mo, so it's important to use protective gear. So, here we are with the gloves. So, I'm using DC Fiber and Chemicals Jewelry Resin. It's a two-part resin, part A and part B. Maraming types ng resin, but I like using this one because it's tested na. I'll be including the link in the description box down below kung saan nyo siya mabibili sa Shopee. So yun, may warning for allergic reactions, so make sure to use protective gear. You also may want to use a respirator if you're irritated to the resin fumes. So yan, two-part siya, and this one is the part 2 hardener. I'm also gonna be showing other materials that I'll be using for resin crafting. So first off, this is a resin toner. Yung color nito sa finished product is opaque, meaning solid color siya. This is a resin dye, so yung color ng finished product nito is semi-transparent. Now this is a silicone mixing cup. May measurement guides din siya, but di masyadong kita sa camera. And then here we have disposable mixing cup. I like to use this especially when sa isang batch multiple colors yung gagawin ko. Here we have popsicle sticks. These are ordinary popsicle sticks. And I actually reuse them once tumigas yung resin sa top. I still keep reusing them, syempre, para tipid tayo sa materials. We also have here some silicone stir sticks. But I actually prefer popsicle sticks or ice cream sticks because those are harder. Ito medyo nagbe-bend kasi, so mahirap mag-mix with them. Of course, one of the most important thing, or probably the most important thing, is you need a digital measuring scale. The resin that I'm using is by weight, so you have to measure out weight, not by volume. So I'm gonna be mixing resin here. Let's start. So first off, I'm gonna measure the two-part resin. Kada resin, iba-iba yung instructions sa weight. The one I'm using is a 2:1 ratio, so 2 parts of the resin and 1 part of the hardener. By the way, the blue mats in my video are silicone mats. Ginagamit ko sila para ma-protect yung work surface ko, para hindi kapitan ng resin. So cleaning up uncured resin is really messy, so the silicone really helps protect the surface and my hands too. So you notice I don't have the glove in one hand, and that's because medyo mahirap yung controlling your hands or having a good grip when you're having silicone gloves. So I'm just trying not to get any resin on my other hand here, and I'm only handling the resin with the gloved hand. Now we can start mixing the resin. So what I like to do is I like to mix a big batch in the silicone cup, tapos to transfer ko siya dito sa disposable cups, multiple disposable cups, and then dye each with a different color. There's also a method called the double pour method where you mix all the resin sa isang container and then transfer it to another container and then mix it again. It helps make the resin be fully incorporated, hindi lang yung bottom yung nami-mix when you actually transfer it from one cup to another. And then I'm gonna be mixing this again. And now I'm going to be adding our resin dye. I'm going to be adding a green color. So the dye is also from DC Trading, the same place I got my resin. And then I'm going to be mixing that. Drops lang yung kailangan when mixing dye to the resin because matapang siya. It's concentrated, so a little really goes a long way. You can also add other things sa resin like glitters, gold foil, metallic flakes, anything you want as long as it's not acrylic stones or crystals kasi anything plastic medyo tutunawin siya ng resin at the curing process. So now I'm going to be taking my molds. You can use any mold you want, but for this video I'm just gonna be using these gummy bear molds. And then I'm going to be pouring our prepared resin into the molds. You also noticed na binaba ko lang yung popsicle stick onto the silicone mat because I'm just gonna let it dry like that. Hindi naman siya kakapit sa mat. Titigas lang yung resin mag-isa without attaching to the mat, and then I'm gonna reuse the stick once the resin has hardened. And then let's just fill up as many molds as we can with this. Ayan, so now we filled as many molds as we can. All that's left to do now is to let it set and cure. Habang hinihintay mo mag-set yung resin mo, you can do something else. Make sure to keep it at a well-ventilated area, and curing time depends on the brand. Yung brand na to, tumitigas na siya after 3 or 4 hours. Pwede mo nang tanggalin sa mold, but it's still a little bit soft. For most brands, the general curing time is at least 24 hours para sa full curing. And now let's try to take some gummy bears off of their molds. So ayan, here you go. Depende dun sa mold na gamit mo, some might come out of their molds with this slightly matte surface. So what I'm going to be doing is using this Resin Sealer that I found on Shopee. The link will also be in the description box, by the way. So avoid using things like nail polish or things na hindi talaga gawa for resin or crafting on your resin because they might be a chemical reaction sa resin nyo and the nail polish. Which means dalagkit siya or matatanggal lang din agad siya. So here you go, it's turning shiny na as you can see, and then I'm just gonna let this dry. And now, here's the finished project. So this is a gummy bear na dinikit ko lang on this silver hair finding. It looks so cute, looks so shiny, and yeah, it's semi-transparent because I used a resin dye on it. And that's it for this video, guys. If you're interested in crafting and you would like to learn more about resin or any other type of crafts, please feel free to follow the YouTube channel, hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Happy crafting!